And we are on.
We are.
Deval.
We are
Um,
live.
this
This is
is this live?
189. This is live and direct. And it's 189. We're feeling fine.
Ah, man, seriously, this is crazy. 189 episodes.
Yeah.
And we're going to do a whole big kind of 4-year thing. It's not this
Yeah.
episode, folks. Just stick with us. We're going to
Mm,
do a big 4-year thing. And because it's been 4 years, Deval and I have actually been doing this for 4 years, different
mm.
continents,
Ah,
week in, week out. And we hope
did you
you
say?
enjoy.
We're incontinent, did you say?
Yeah, well, I'm incontinent, but yeah, that as well. Different continents. Um, but yeah, how's
True.
things, man? How's everything back home?
The sun's out. Still a bit chilly, but can't complain. Everything's expensive. They're charging us twice as much for fuel, food,
Oh
and
man,
everything else. So it's going great.
man, listen. Just the other day, I was listening to fucking what was it? LBC radio,
Oh
and
yeah.
you get the people, just the people who call in, like Dave from Canning Town. It's like, yeah, like Nick calling in the Nick Ferrari show and everything. He's just like complaining about the protesters that chained themselves up to a petrol station thing. It was
Yeah.
just so funny, man. Oh, I missed it. I was missing it,
Uh,
man. Seriously.
Trust
So
me. Be happy where you
yeah.
are. There isn't much to miss here. Trust me. There's not much to miss.
Oh shit. Before I forget, I want to just add a bit of light.
Your lights. Oh yeah. I thought
Well,
there's something missing. Your lights,
I
isn't it?
know, I know, man.
And then one at the back as well. Look at that one. It's got to put his
One,
three-point lighting on. Look at that. Get the horizontal, the angled, the backlight as well. We want to get his full all his features right. Make sure, you
exactly.
know.
Make sure got this Halo going on, and Oh, by the way, talking of Halo, Deval, have you seen Halo? It's
I've
out
you
on
know
Amazon Prime,
I've
I think.
I've got 4 episodes lined up.
Yeah.
I haven't seen them yet, but I will watch them soon. Yeah, I
Okay.
will
Yeah, me
watch it.
too. We got to check it out just to kind of see what the hype is.
Yeah.
But listen, look, folks, thanks for downloading another episode. Like Deval said, this is episode 189.
Mm.
And we're going to be bringing you film news. We're going to be talking about streaming, new trailers, anniversary corner, and obviously a big film review that we're going to be speaking about. So before we do any of all that stuff, let's do the shout outs, Deval. I love this.
Yep. 2 shout outs this week. First one goes out to the 5Fs Telegram channel, and that's 5Fs. So you got fun, you got fitness, you got films, you got finance, and you have faith. So some of the
Nice.
most important pillars to keep your life afloat. They've got a great Telegram channel, and every Wednesday we've got our podcast streaming live on that
Wicked.
channel, 8 p.m. UK time. So catch them on that Telegram channel, and yeah, have some fun.
Yeah, man. Great, great, great guys, man. Love the
Yeah,
conversations that they all have.
defo.
So yeah, check it out.
Second shout out goes out to Wolf of Film Street. Now, Wolf of Film Street put out a really great review of the Flixters
This is nice.
podcast. Yes, our very podcast. So, want to really say big thank you to the Wolf of Film Street. Sorry, and yeah, while we're on that, actually, go out and write a review. Let us know what you think. If you like us, if you don't like us, let us know. If you want something different, let us know, and we'll add it onto the show. So, what did the Wolf of Film Street say? They said,
Uh,
absolutely love the
so,
show. What was that?
sorry, no, go on, no, you go, go on.
You're laughing at me already, aren't you?
No, no, sorry, I went like that, and then I just it's just the thing that I said. But yeah, go on, you
You're
go,
feeling
bro.
all,
Sorry.
feeling all warm inside. So yeah,
Yeah, man, I was feeling gooey.
the Wolf of Wall Street said absolutely loved the show. You loved the banter between the hosts. Honest reviews, not pretentious, always funny. The movie review sections are the greatest because they learn about what's going on in the film. That's what we're all
Mm,
about, and we're not
yeah,
afraid to go off tangents, which happens a lot. Sorry,
yeah,
well, not sorry. Well done. Keep up the good work. And yeah, it'd be great if one day we can get some people onto the show as well. People that write
oh
reviews,
man,
people that like the show. We want to get you involved. So yeah, keep writing
exactly.
reviews, please. Yeah, and
Yeah,
also just
film
on that,
lovers.
the next person that writes a review, about the show, wherever you want to write it, on Apple, on Spotify, wherever, we're going to give you a 3-month movie pass. And that
Wicked.
is for Now TV, where you can watch movies. It's basically like a company of Sky TV in the UK. So this UK is only allowed, I guess, for UK people because of the
Yeah,
restrictions. But 3 months free, movies, all you can watch. There you go, from the Flixters. Write a
that's
review
brilliant.
now.
And they do all the latest film releases, don't they? They
Yeah,
come
they
out on
do.
Now
Yeah,
TV.
in
Yeah,
HD, 4K, surround sound. Get your
on the
popcorn
mobile
out,
phone.
chill out at home, put your feet up.
Do it
That's what it's about.
seriously. That's what it's about. Thanks for that, Devaldo. And remember, folks, check us out on Instagram as well. Check us out on YouTube. You know, we put out the
Hmm.
videos of these shows as well. So if you want to see us, see our faces as well, you can do that. And if you've got any comments, do let us know. Right. Okay. On to movie news. Um, so Devaldo, Dan Stevens. Remind me again,
Mm.
Dan Stevens again. This name rings a bell. Who is he? What is he? And what's it got to do with Godzilla?
Gotcha,
Gosh,
gotcha. So Dan Stevens is a UK actor, a British actor. He actually
mm.
was in Downton Abbey a few years ago now. He was
Oh,
in
is it?
Downton Abbey. They killed him off, but he's actually been in many American movies. He was in The Guest. Remember The Guest?
Love
That
that movie.
really
Love
good
that
film. Yeah, The
B
Guest.
movie. Yeah, good
Exactly.
classic B movie.
Uh, he was also in Legion, which we spoke about, I think last week or the week before, TV
Yeah,
show on Fox, where he plays a mutant with all kinds of powers because he
mm,
has mental health issues. Really good actor. He's very diverse, actually.
yeah.
But the news is that he's actually going to be starring in a starring role, in a lead role in Godzilla versus Kong Part Two.
Oh, damn. So they're doing another one.
Yeah, exactly. So this is happening. I believe it's going to be coming out next year. So yeah, this is going to be happening real soon, and he's going to be in a starring role. So let's see how that turns out. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that one. The last one was entertaining, was action packed, lots of fighting. Uh, some
There
people,
was a few like weird bits in there, but yeah,
a few weird bits, but
yeah,
it's one of those films, isn't it? You go eat your popcorn. It's not serious. You just enjoy the show, see who wins, and then you go home.
yeah, exactly. That trust me, that's it. And it's about time. It makes sense that he would kind of get a lead role, right? Because he's been
Yeah,
doing this for a while now.
yeah. Yeah, and someone like him, if he has the right platform, the right movie, he can really steal the show. He's very diverse. He's very diverse.
Mm.
So it just depends on what kind of projects he wants to get involved in. But yeah, good guy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Really, really good that one. Right now, Moon Knight that aired on all the episodes. Kind of are able you're able to watch them all, but it aired kind of like last week or something, a couple of weeks ago. And Deval and I we kind of reviewed it every week. We were reviewing it. Kind of a mixed bag for us, I think, or especially for me. But the news here is Deval. Now this is interesting because I thought maybe they were done with Moon Knight, and they might not kind of bring him back again. But what do you reckon? What's going on over here, man? Because this is pretty big.
So from what we understand, Moon Knight is going to be appearing in Captain America 4. So that's going to be Captain
Wow.
America featuring, the Falcon, Anthony Mackie's character.
Yeah.
And when I first heard this, I thought, how's the Moon Knight and Captain America linked? Captain America's quite, gritty, real world
Yeah.
issues. All the series and the movies have been quite, grounded. And then we've got a
Mm.
character in Moon Knight, which we just saw, who's, steeped in, I guess, godlike mythology, the
Yeah.
spiritual world and that sort of integration with the human world. And I don't know how it's going to match up, but I guess we're going to have to wait and see. Marvel's getting a bit mad these days. Multiverse, we're getting zombies, we're getting all sorts. So this is just like toast and tea to them, isn't it?
Exactly, man. They're changing things up, and it's interesting that you should say that because on this next piece of news, right? I think this is pretty big for Disney and Marvel and whatnot. Um, Disney CEO Bob Chapek he confirmed that check this out: Black Panther: Wakanda Forever
Mm.
is actually going to be releasing this year. So 2022 Devaldo is coming this year. And it wasn't supposed to come out this year. I
Is
always
it?
thought, yes,
Ah,
I always thought it wasn't. So what happened was I kind of was reading into this. They put the release dates out. It was going to come out this year, but then they changed it. So then they
okay.
delayed it. But now, according to him, on he did this. When Disney they do their the Disney Day thing. What is it called again? The
D,
Disney
D is it D23 or no D something Disney? Oh, the Investor Day or something. Yeah,
that's it. The
yeah, the
Investor Day.
Investor Day. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Exactly. So basically, he kind of said, looking ahead, our studios will continue to deliver high quality content at scale with an exciting array of series and films. So he goes on and talks about it, but he said November the 11th
Mm.
is going to be releasing this year, November the 11th.
Wow. Okay. I mean, the funny thing is, you mentioned this, and to me, it just sounds like normal because I actually missed the fact that they delayed it because they changed the dates around so much. I can't
So
keep up.
much.
But I'm surprised they didn't release it in February, just like Black Panther 1, because in America, that's Black History Month. And when they first released
Mm,
Black Panther in that month, it was crazy. Like, just people, especially in America, African
yeah.
Americans were watching it in generational numbers.
Yeah.
You'll see the child's parents, the grandparents, they go
Grandparents.
as
Yeah.
a family to watch this film. So maybe they're missing a trick here by not releasing it in the same month.
Mm.
But I guess it's up to them.
Man, I really, really hope, because I reckon there's going to be a lot of hype, and obviously, loads of people are going to be watching this because of Chadwick
Mm,
Boseman, and
mm,
he passes away, he passed away and everything. But from the rumors that I've heard, is this is we are gonna the movie is dedicated to Chadwick Boseman.
okay.
This is going to be his movie as much as it is.
Mm,
For example, it could be Shuri. I'm not saying that Shuri is going to be the next Black Panther, but
mm.
it could be. It's just as much as about him as it is about the next character. So yeah, man. What do you reckon? Do you reckon the Winter Soldier will turn up in this as well?
Ah, yes, I think so. Yeah, that's a good shout, actually. Yeah, I think so.
Because remember in the
There's a
TV show, there's a little bit of a thing going on there. They're like they
Joe Malaji
yeah,
and
man.
him because he was there for a few years, I guess, or a couple of years
Yeah.
until Infinity War. He's got a bit of a connection with them, and you know what they say: once you go black, you don't go back. So, he's probably
And he's
so,
another one. He's another guy. I mean, he hasn't like had any action since what, like the 40s or something, or
oh
something,
mate, he must be just walking around like you know what I mean?
with his solid arm.
Oh my god.
Bloody hell, man! Seriously,
That's why
this guy's
his
got
metal arm is always giving him trouble. And see how quick she took it off in Winter Soldier. Imagine what he must have been thinking. Oh, hello. I ain't been touched like that before in 60 years. Ooh, ooh.
holy shit. It just reminded me. Do you remember when Civil War came out? I remember we were talking about this like years ago when the trailer comes out when
Mm.
Spider-Man he blocks kind of Bucky's punch,
Oh yeah,
and he's like, "Oh wow, you got a metal arm," and he
yeah,
looks at him like as if, "Shit, how are you doing this to my
yeah,
arm?"
yeah, yeah, yeah,
He's
yeah,
so
yeah,
powerful.
yeah,
Oh, I love that bit. Yeah, so hopefully
yeah.
we're going to see Bucky Barnes in that one. So listen, so check out obviously news on Black Panther. You know what? It's going to be coming. Now, the other piece of news that I want to mention is this one. Now, Jason Statham has been around for a pretty long time, and this guy was kind of
Mm.
like was he Olympic? He's a
He was
swimmer
an
or
Olympic diver, or he actually
okay.
competed for the European Championships, like high level diver.
Yeah,
So
basically
yeah,
high level.
mm,
He got into acting, Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels, and worked with Guy Ritchie like a few times. And then he's had this, massive kind of a Hollywood career, Expendables, Fast and Furious. And check this out: the rumor mills are abuzz with the news that Jason Statham is joining the MCU. Now, a lot of people were saying, "Oh, could he be Captain Britain? Like, could he kind
mm,
of like have, a British leaning kind of slant on a comic book character?" And there's all these kind of things going up in the air. Um, a lot of people are saying that he could be a character called Union Jack, which Devout, I haven't even Union Jack. I haven't even
yeah.
heard of this
I think
character.
I've heard of that in the comics. It rings a bell. It does ring a bell. I think it's part of the group of the British kind of Avengers kind of people. I think
Yeah.
that's what it is. But
Yeah, and
Union
a
Jack.
lot of
Mm,
yeah, Union Jack, and the description is like kind of he's kind of a cross between kind of like a bit like Batman and James Bond. He's kind of like a
okay.
Secret Service. He was around in World War One, so kind of a a
Mm.
Captain America type of a person. So yeah, we'll see. We don't know, but what do you reckon, Jason Statham in the MCU? about time, or is it
Nah, I
too
mean,
late?
there's nothing. I don't have any problem with him at all. I just don't
Yeah,
think. I don't know. The MCU's kind of going in a funny direction now. I don't know. I
yeah,
don't know what to call it. I don't know what to make of it. I don't know if this is a good thing or bad thing. But even a friend of mine I was talking to just before the show, he's got a funny feeling about all these actors jumping onto the MCU, like Charlize Theron, and you had
mm,
Angelina Jolie and Eternals, and usually the MCU was a place where it wasn't about the stars; it's about the heroes, you know. So
yeah.
now you get these big stars playing these heroes. It's almost like the star surpasses the hero almost. So I don't know. It's a bit.
Absolutely.
I don't
I
know.
totally agree, man. Yeah, man. I hope they don't kind of, start going off on so many different tangents, and then it kind of doesn't
Mm,
feel like, I don't know, the era of kind of the Iron Man era, that type of a thing. And like, I miss that. But yeah, man, we'll have to wait and see how it all unfolds. But we got more stuff coming, folks. So keep it up with the fixes. We'll be bringing you all that news. But the other one, the other piece of news that I want to mention is this. So Dave Bautista, he kind of went online. He posted something to his Instagram, a picture with him, Karen Gillan, James Gunn, Star Lord,
mm,
Gamora. There's a picture of all of them there, and they're laughing. And he said it was kind of like a bittersweet moment because it was the last day of filming, and he couldn't really say goodbye to everyone properly because as soon as the filming finished on Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, he
mm,
had to go off and start another production. And
mm,
he's basically, from the way he's speaking, the way he's talking about it, this is it. This
mm,
we're probably not going to get Dave Bautista back in kind of the MCU in that character because I don't think James Gunn's going to go back again.
mm.
Although never say
Okay.
never. But I don't think this is it. Guardians of Volume 3 Devour is going to be the last time that we're going to see Dave Bautista as Drax.
Mm. I can see that happening. I kind of had a sneaky suspicion that this would be his last hurrah with the
Yeah.
Guardians, as well as James Gunn. So I just hope they, end with a bang. He doesn't have to. Well, I guess if he's really ending, he's got to die. He's
Yes.
got to die because otherwise the character still exists, the door's still open. If it's really an end that he says it is, he's got to die in it.
Yeah. And then it just makes you think, what about the other guys then? Like Star Lord and Gamora? Is this going to be there? Is it going to be the end for them as well, or what?
I mean, and also, it's a good question. It might be the end for the Guardians in how we see them, but the
Yeah.
Guardians can have other team members and they can pop up in other people's films, just like they are gonna in Thor, God
In
and
Thor,
Love
yeah.
and Thunder, and obviously in the Avengers as well. So the Guardians may not be the same again, but they might
We'll have
still
to wait
show
and
up now
see.
and again. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. So we're definitely going to be getting that. Remember, folks, that's about a year away. And
Mm.
any more news on that, we'll keep you posted. Now, okay, finally, Devaldo, this trial has basically been has
Mm.
gripped like people everywhere here in Australia, in America, in England. But tell
Mate.
us, tell us this, man. What is the latest news with this Amber Heard trial thing going on?
The trial is happening as we speak. So literally, as we're speaking now, the trial has recommenced. There was a week off,
Yeah.
and it's juicy stuff. It's crazy, but in the movie world, it has impacted public perception of her because the trial has brought up a lot of stuff that people believe is quite negative for her
Mm.
in how she behaves and stuff like that. So people have actually signed a petition for her not to return to Aquaman 2, which is out. When's it out now? It's always been delayed. It's meant to be out
It's
this
next year
year.
now, isn't it?
I think it's next year now, but the petition has reached 4 million
That's
signatures.
significant.
Significant. That's bigger than some countries, mate. Yeah, that's bigger than
Trust
some
me.
countries. So that's a lot of signatures. That's a lot of people. That's a lot of
Yeah.
potential
Money.
ticket sales. Exactly. Money talks and bullshit
Yeah.
walks. So if Warner Brothers believe that this could impact the potential success of the movie,
Mm.
who's to say Amelia Clark might not? She might now be sworn in into the
Yes.
role, which a lot of people were
Holy
saying before
shit.
she should be brought in. So let's see if that actually happens. Maybe
You know what?
some people are saying this is the reason why the film was delayed because
Delayed.
of certain reshoots and stuff. She's not available, and that's why the
Yeah.
movie's been delayed because of this court case. Court case.
And it was obviously like kind of related to it, but this is total kind of like, gossipy shit. But people like Jennifer Aniston and a lot of kind of like other. I think it was Zoe Saldana as well, Gamora. They started following Johnny Depp, and
Oh, okay.
this became kind of like a bit of a news as well. Kind of like these other female Hollywood,
Mm,
actresses, they started following Johnny Depp. So a lot of people are saying the tide is
mm,
changing. But then on one side, people are saying, look, this has done kind of like irreparable damage to his career. He's not coming back from this.
mm.
And, he's been stigmatized basically.
They're both, I think, from what I've seen so far, they're both in the wrong at some level.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know who's more in the wrong or what, but it's not good for both of them. And even Jason Momoa was said to have followed Johnny Depp as well.
Johnny Depp as well. So what does this mean? Like, what? I
Uh,
don't get it.
I don't
It's
know.
crazy,
I
man.
don't know,
But all
man.
I know is that whenever like it's on, like I always go to YouTube, I end up watching the live feed, and I
Yeah,
just
me
always
too.
kind of tune in.
Me
I
too.
just kind
Me
of tune
too.
in.
Me too.
All right,
Me
folks,
too.
that's your movie news for this week. Remember, keep it locked with the Flixers. We're going to be bringing you more news, so stick with us. And yeah, let's move on to new on streaming now. Deval, we spoke about this, I think, kind of off air maybe last week. I haven't had a chance to watch this, but this is a new show on Amazon Prime. This is starring Josh Brolin, who people will know from The Goonies and Thanos from the Avengers, and obviously Deadpool. But he's in a new kind of, is it sci-fi western or like what is going on over here? Because I can't kind of.
Mm. It's exactly what you just said. It's sci-fi western. That's exactly what
Wow.
it is. It's a bit weird. I finished it now. I'm not going to spoil it, but
Yeah.
it's a bit weird. Just Brolin stars as a rancher out in
Mm.
Wyoming, big bit of land. He's having a bit of a spat, bit of a feud with the neighboring ranch owner, and that's been going on for like generations or whatever about whose land is what. In the middle of that now, there's a big hole on his ranch, like far, a few miles away. There's a massive hole in the ranch, and that hole is a weird hole. It's not just no normal hole. This hole, like, just if you go in it, it's like time is involved. It's weird.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it's a
Yes.
weird. It's
Sounds
like a
good.
weird, and it looks a bit spacey in there. So
Yeah.
it's all I can say is it's weird and weird shit happens. Imogen Poots, she's in this as well. I didn't realize she's
Right.
British. She's
No,
from
I didn't know either.
London, Hammersmith. She's
Wow.
been in all kinds of American stuff. I had no idea, but
Wow.
she's in it. She's a bit weird as well. She knows more than she's letting off. It's a weird show, but it's a good show. You got to
Yeah.
stick with it, and that's all I can say for now. But it's on Amazon. Go catch it out. 8 episodes. Yeah.
Is it a modern, is it set in modern day or is it set in like in
Yes.
the past?
Modern
It's a
day.
modern day. Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Modern day.
Brilliant. Go
Uh.
check that out.
Yeah.
And another show that we've kind of spoken about, I haven't got a chance to around watching this, and this is definitely on the watch list. But this is We Own This City, and I
Mm,
think you mentioned this, Deval.
mm, mm,
It's made by the guys behind The Wire,
mm.
and just when you say The Wire, people are going to be like, okay, look, I'm on it, I'm on it, I'm on it. But also, John Bernthal is in it, and like a whole host of great actors. But yeah, tell us about this one, man.
This one, if you don't know The Wire, get to know The
Oh,
Wire. The Wire is one of
yeah,
the top, probably one of the top five TV shows ever made.
yeah,
And this is made by the same people that made The Wire. And this is just another sort of TV show based in, again, Baltimore, about cops. This is to do with a lot of shady cops, actually,
right,
about government officials, police, lawyers, people's motivations and how they can intersect and clash. And you get to see from the street level up into the sort of higher echelons of democracy or whatever you want to call it, how people operate. But there's a lot of shady cops in this. Really interesting.
yeah.
What's his name? I can never say his name right.
I can never get
Bernthal.
his name right. Yeah.
John Bernthal, the Punisher, also was in Sicario, gangster film.
Yes.
He's in it. He's an interesting character. You got Wumi Mosaku. She's a great actress as well, British actress.
Yeah.
Actress. She was in Luther. She was in Loki. She was that kind of time cop in
Yeah.
Loki. She's been in a bunch of stuff. Really, really good. And it's also got, remember Marlowe from The Wire?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Marlowe. He
That
was
was
the
the
sort of
connection from The Wire.
yeah,
Yeah, like yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
He
yeah,
was a gangster in The Wire. He's in this. There's other people from The Wire, not a lot. There's a couple of couple of people's faces that you'll recognise that were in The Wire that are in this. All I can
yeah.
say is I've seen 2 episodes so far. I can't wait for the rest. Go
Oh,
watch it. No
wicked.
waste of time. It's
Yeah,
on HBO. Go
yeah.
get that. Go get it.
Check it out. Go check it out, folks. And this one, I have to mention this one. If you haven't heard of this or you haven't kind of seen the trailer or whatever, but go check this documentary out. You know, and I've mentioned this before. Netflix, they're really good at bringing out these documentaries. This documentary just released maybe about 2 3 days ago. It's called Our Father,
Mm.
and it's produced by Blumhouse, Deval. So
Oh,
but check this out, right? When I watched this, I was like, hang on, Blumhouse are getting involved in documentaries, and the subject matter
oh,
is horrific.
is it?
This is a true story about a doctor in Indiana in the US
Mm,
who artificially inseminated women
mm,
and fathered
mm,
over 90 children
mm,
and counting.
mm.
It
I
is absolutely disgusting what this guy did.
what?
Vulnerable women going back to the 80s,
Yeah.
they wanted a family. They would go to this doctor. He was famous, he was well known. Everyone was going to this doctor in that period. They want to have a family, they want to have a kid, and he was like,
Mm,
okay, listen, we are specialists in this field.
mm,
We have donors. They provide their semen, whatever. And you know what, there's a high success rate for you getting pregnant. So
mm,
then they would go off, they'd get pregnant, and then this one kid, all starts with this one kid in the year 2014.
mm,
She goes to her mum and dad and she says, look, mum and dad, look, I know I look different to you. I know that there's something kind of like, I was adopted, right? And she said, look, don't worry. If I am adopted, just that's fine. That's no problem. And then the mum says yes. And she goes, well, okay, fine. And then when she got a bit older, she was like, oh, I'm going to do a DNA test because maybe I might find out who my biological father is, etc., etc.
mm,
So one of the things with this whole artificial insemination is they say that you will probably get a maximum of three kind of like sibling close, like half siblings, because that's the most that a donor can provide, three times
mm,
basically.
mm,
She does the DNA test and she gets 8 hits, right? Eight
mm,
hits. She starts digging
mm,
around. Then the number jumps to 17 hits.
mm,
She starts
mm.
jumping around, and the documentary then kind of jumps to 20 hits, 40 hits,
No, stop, stop,
60
stop, stop,
hits.
stop, stop. I gotta see this. No, 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 no. Stop, stop, stop. I gotta watch
Deval.
this. I gotta watch this. That's mad. That's mad.
It's the
Mm-mm,
craziest shit that you've ever heard in your life. And it's
mm-mm.
Blumhouse. And then it made
That's horror.
sense.
Mm.
It's horror. This is real life horror going on
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
before
yeah.
our
That's
eyes.
horror. That's horror right there.
Um,
That's horror.
so it's called Our Father. It's about an hour and a half, or maybe a bit over an hour and a half and everything,
Mm.
but it's gripping. It is
Okay.
really gripping. So if you
Mm.
got the chance, if you got the space, go check it out. And oh man, just if you're thinking about having kids, just watch this and
Mm.
be careful. All right, let's move on to new trailers. Love, Death, and Robots. Now, I remember, Deval, we reviewed this, or we spoke about the kind of
Mm.
the last season or whatever. Some kind of standout episodes. I remember the one with the giant on the beach. Do you remember that one?
Yeah, 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 yeah. There's been there's been so many good
There's been so many, yeah.
shorts. Yeah, this again is on Netflix. Love, Death, and Robots,
Mhm.
and it's futuristic. It's gripping. It's touching. It's raw. This is season 3, basically coming out
Yeah.
really soon on Netflix. I can't talk too highly of this. This is Go watch season 1. Go watch season
Mm.
2, and it's good. The
Yeah.
shorts are maybe 5 minutes. They may be 12 minutes, but it's really good stuff, and the quality is so high. Sometimes you get
Really good.
animation. Sometimes you get a mixture of live action and
Live action.
animation.
Yeah.
You get all kinds of different ways they can illustrate this, but go watch it. I mean, I'll say no more. Just go watch Love, Death, and
Yeah,
Robots
yeah, looking forward to that one.
for sure.
Now, listen, Deval, hang on a second. Now, Resident Evil, didn't you just review a Resident Evil movie just like a couple of months ago?
Yeah, that movie wasn't very good. That's the movie that was Welcome to Raccoon City.
Yeah,
That movie was not very good. This now is the Resident Evil. I think you mentioned a while ago in the news.
Right.
This is now a show that's going to come out on Netflix. This is
Wow.
coming out soon as well. And this actually, from the trailer I saw, the 2 minute trailer, it looks better than the last movie that came out. This
Okay.
looks,
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's going to be great, but it just looks better than what just came out recently. This looks like it could be worth a bit of your time.
Yeah.
And the fact it's going to be a series means it's going to give it a bit more patience and character building and all that kind of stuff. It could be this generation's version of The Walking Dead. Who knows? But
Interesting.
we'll have
Yeah.
to wait and see because The Walking Dead kind of fell off a bit, but maybe this could revive the whole, zombie. Then again, the zombie franchise will never die, isn't it? In its very
Uh,
nature, it just keeps on walking, doesn't it?
it does keep on walking, that one.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm going to check that out. Actually, I'm going to give it some time because it might work better on the small screen, like in kind of episodic
Yeah.
kind of like storyline. So we'll see. We'll check that out. Now, this next one, Devaldo, I've seen seasons 1 and 2, and I think I was pretty late to the whole Westworld. But when I got into Westworld, I was
Mm.
gripped. I was like, shit, I love this show. It's really kind of like amazing, based on a 70s movie. And the third season, I didn't watch at all. And now
Mm.
they're bringing out season 4.
Season 4, yes. You know what? I'm gonna watch it. I really hope this is the last season. I know it
Mm.
sounds bad, but for me, Westfield gets really complicated.
Westfield.
What did I say? Westworld. Yes, sorry.
Westfield.
Westfield. That's a shopping centre.
Westfield, yeah, it's
That gets
complicated.
complicated too. You get lost in there, forget it. You come out, you're 10 years older, and no one, and no one can recognize you.
They got Westfield here as well.
Yeah, they're everywhere. It's
Yeah,
mad. But yeah,
yeah.
Westworld, it's confusing, man. It's like it's just not simple. You gotta watch an episode. You gotta watch a YouTube video about explaining the episode you just watched. Then you gotta get out your handbook, read the manual, research the director,
Oh,
understand what their
shit.
motivations was. Then you gotta
Trust
come
me.
back to yourself. It's just confusing, and it's entertaining, but then you get lost in the confusion. And
I
it's
know.
so yeah. Season 3 for me was the most confusing episode series, and yeah, season 4 looks like it's going to be the same. I don't know. Tandiwe Newton, that's the name she goes by now. Tandiwe, not Tandy Newton.
Oh,
Yeah, she goes by
really?
Tandiwe. She's
She's embracing her kind of
embracing her
like,
African
yeah,
heritage more.
yeah.
So yeah, so
Okay, cool.
Tandiwe Newton's in it. Aaron Paul from what's it called?
Um,
From Breaking Bad.
Break
Breaking
Bad. Yeah,
Bad. Yeah, he's in it.
yeah.
And you've got a few others that have come back that have been in it over the
And
series. Again,
what about Commissioner Gordon? Is he still in
he's
it?
in it, yes. What's his name again in real life? Can't remember his name. Commissioner Gordon, the Watcher,
Oh my
great
god.
character actor,
Yeah,
great
yeah, he's
voice.
good.
But they're all in it. This is the world of androids and
Mm.
humans and playing God. Is it John Crichton? Crichton?
That's
Is
it.
that the
That's it. Yeah,
original?
he did
Uh,
Jurassic.
Jurassic Park as well. It's all about playing God and theme parks and what can happen if we try and play God. You end up dying, mate.
Mm.
So yeah, go check it out. It's coming out soon on HBO.
Yeah, check that out, folks. And listen, if you don't want to check all those out, how about this? How about go back in time with us 20 years, so 2002,
Mm.
and remember this movie, Bloody Sunday. Bloody Sunday.
Mm.
So this is the Paul Greengrass movie, isn't it, Deval?
I didn't
Is it?
realize it was Paul Greengrass, but yeah, that's the handheld kind of action, kind of live, gritty, kind of camera style, Jason Bourne and all those ones.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So
deep to this.
this is based on a true story. This is basically
Yes,
based on a 1972 event, um, the shootings in Derry in Northern Ireland,
yeah,
and this is kind of like the kind of the fictionalized retelling of that. And
yeah,
Paul Greengrass, he did obviously the Bourne movies, but he also did something else, which is kind of like a real. Oh, that was it. United in '93.
yeah, 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 yeah. So he does like to take on these, obviously Born isn't, but some other, real life events, gritty
Mm,
events, to events that, changed history in some ways, and events
yeah,
that really touch a lot of people's lives. Obviously, this is a true story, which is going to lean into our main film review,
yeah,
but also this takes a bit of a, religious slant as well, because we know the troubles in that area of the world, Northern Ireland, and the
yeah.
British as well. There's a lot of religious background
Conflict.
there, conflicts that has caused quite a lot of yeah, conflict over the years. So that's
Mm.
one of the reasons why this is on the list. But yeah, this here is one of those sorts of films that you'll probably never hear of, but just the nature of the director, the style of storytelling, and the subject matter, I think it
Yeah.
all lends together for a film that could be quite interesting to watch, but
Yeah.
very
I think
hard
I,
hitting as well.
Yeah, when I remember, I think I did watch this, and it was kind of the way. What I loved about it was the documentary style, the way it was
Mm,
filmed.
mm, mm,
So I mean, yeah, Paul Greengrass is a great director. Go check it out, folks. And like Deval mentioned, it kind of has a link in with the movie
mm,
that we're going to speak about. And this is based on a. I didn't know this, but this the movie that we're going to speak about is based on a real life event. Real life person. And so Deval's going to take us through this. So this is called Father Stu. It's a new release. Stars Mark Whalberg, Mel Gibson, Jackie Weaver, who's an Australian actress.
mm.
And yeah, so Deval, take this away because I've heard stuff about this, but I want to hear your take on it.
Yeah, so this one, directed by Rosalind Ross. I actually got to see this on a preview, so it's not actually fully
Mm,
out yet in the UK, I don't think, but managed to see it. Yeah, this one, like you mentioned, Mark Wahlberg is the star. It's called Father Stu, or his name's Stuart or Stu, and it's about a man who is as far away from even wanting to be in church, yet alone be a part a priest, and his lifestyle is one of he's one of those people that is happy-go-lucky.
right.
He's not being very serious in life. He is chasing a dream. He wants to be an actor, and he ends up doing a lot of odd jobs to try and accomplish that dream. He's not very stable in his relationships. He sleeps around and stuff like that, chases women.
Mm,
His parents have divorced, and his mum and dad haven't got the best relationship. He's, all kinds of stuff going on. And then in this film, he just randomly he comes across this lady who's played by, I think I actually saw her. It's Teresa Ruiz, and
mm.
I think she's actually was in yeah, she was in Narcos Mexico. She
Oh,
had a
okay.
gangster role in Narcos Mexico, as Isabella, and she's the love interest. So he sees her while he's working in the shop, chases her down, won't take no for an answer. I kind of think it's a bit creepy how he chases her down, because he literally just follows her and stuff like that, turns up
Stalking,
where she
man.
is. Yeah, and it's like it's a bit like you
Damn.
shouldn't be doing that, but it is what it
Yeah.
is. And then yeah, so bit by bit, he sort of, again, it kind of seems bad, but he kind of chips away at her until she can't
Yeah.
take no for an answer.
Breaks her down.
But he chases her into a church, isn't it? And that's where she goes to church, and he decides to get close to her. He's got to get close to God and convince
Oh,
her.
right.
So
Okay.
that's kind of how it kind of starts off.
Mm,
And then bit by bit, she starts to like him. She's like, "Oh, this guy's all right. Okay, he's coming to church. Okay, it can be worse or whatever." And then some events happen where, well, first of all, they get close, a bit too close,
right.
closer than she
Okay.
thought she would get.
Yeah.
And they're enjoying a good relationship or whatever. Then some events happen that change his life. You know, some events happen physically. He has an accident. It
Okay.
changes his life bit by bit, and then he sees that as a message from God that he needs to fully commit to the church and be a
Wow.
priest. And she's like, "You want to be a priest?" And he's like, "Yeah." She's like, I kind of laughing, trying to kiss him and stuff and all that. And he's like, "No, I want to be a priest. This is a message from God. I need to commit to this. This is
Shit.
where my life needs to be." She's like,
Yeah.
"But if you're a priest, like you can't get married or anything." She wants to marry him.
Yeah.
You can't get married or anything. And he's like, "Yeah, I'm sorry. I need to commit to this." And it's like, hold on. She's like, "Hold on. You've chased me around. You've broken me down. You've made
Yeah.
me, well, not made me, but like, we're now in a relationship, and now you're
Yeah.
telling me you're just going to leave me and we can't get married and like, knock boots anymore." He's
Damn.
like, "Yeah." She is cussing.
Harsh.
She's cussing, like cussing, cussing, cussing. And then yeah, so then he starts to join I don't know what they're called, but there's like a school where you need to learn to
Yeah.
be a priest. So he
Yeah.
joins that. There's other people around that, one of them in particular don't really like him because they think he's not a good example. But bit by bit, he chips away at it. He does study hard, and he is learning and stuff. But also his health is deteriorating.
Okay.
His health is deteriorating. He's getting, I'm not going to say exactly what it is, but things are happening to him that he can't control, and
Damn.
it's sad to see because the film starts at Mel Gibson's in the background. He's also like a sort of deadbeat dad. He hasn't been around. His mum is
Right.
alone, and he's
Yeah.
got these other relationships to contend with. But uh, as this is happening with his health, you see that it's tough. And like at the start, the film is a bit comedic, but then when this starts happening, it's mostly drama.
Is it
It's just
okay?
two
Because
films
yeah.
in one. It starts off
Right.
comedy, and then it starts to be drama. You get some really powerful moments where you think, "Wow, is this Mark Wahlberg?" Or it's like some powerful moments, where he's
Yeah.
speaking and he's actually, speaking of God and being a priest almost, even though he's not yet. But yeah, and it's like the film does take you along on this journey. You start thinking, "Shit, this guy's he's serious." Because at first you think,
Mm.
"Is he just like doing this, but just
Yeah.
to prove a point?" He's serious. So yeah, the film goes along, and soon enough, the lady that he left, she supports him, and
Yeah.
you know, and his
Oh, what?
dad,
So
who
then, what? She still. So they end up together then.
I'm not going to say what happens at the end, but
Oh, okay.
bottom line is, as a priest, this film isn't set in the modern day; it's set in the 90s. As a priest, you cannot, like, I don't know what
Yeah,
it's
you
like
can't.
now, but then you can't
No, I
sex
still think you can't
marriage.
have sex.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so then like so that's not what she's about. So,
Yeah.
but she supports him in what he's doing. She has to support him
Yeah.
because that's what he's doing. But yeah,
Yeah.
so it's just he gets really worse in his health, and it's mad. It's like it's almost
Damn.
like the worse he gets in his health, the stronger he is in his
The
faith
faith,
and
his faith gets right.
his
Okay.
ability to be a priest and stuff. But yeah, the film does get serious, surprisingly so. And yeah, I was a bit surprised. It's an enjoyable film. I probably would have never watched it if I didn't get in
Mm.
there for free, if it wasn't a free preview. But
Yeah.
surprisingly, it was a decent film based on a true story, which I didn't realize when I watched it.
Right.
And then at the end, you get to see and hear from the real Father
Real
Stu.
stew. And
Yeah.
is there a similarity between the two, between Mark Wahlberg and the
Well,
real
looks wise or
looks
something?
wise?
Nah, nah,
Yeah,
nah,
looks
nah, nah,
wise.
nah, nah. There ain't. Nah. But
He looks
there
nothing
ain't.
like him.
Nah. But yeah, there's certain things that he does in his acting that resembles him after you see
Right.
the real
Okay.
guy.
Yeah.
And they do physically change him a lot to resemble the guy, not just
Yeah.
facially, but his body as well, which they've
His
done
body.
quite
Right.
well at.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, it's actually quite an interesting film. I was
Yeah.
surprised
Sounds
to see Mark
interesting.
Wahlberg doing it, to be honest. But
It's funny you should mention that because he was being interviewed and they were like, "Well, why did you like? How did you come across this kind of project?" And he was like,
mm,
he wanted to do something that was really going to kind of flex
yeah,
him, and and obviously Mark Wahlberg, he's done the action movies,
yeah,
he's done it all right, he's done comedy and all that sort of stuff, and then the problem that he had was no studio was willing to put the money up for the project because
mm,
they were like, what the hell is like, religious movie? It's just not going to
mm,
kind of happen.
mm,
And so he then got in touch with Mel Gibson, apparently. And Mel Gibson was like, listen, look, I did the Passion of the Christ. I put
mm.
my own money into it. And that turned out to be like flipping one of the biggest
Biggest box office
earners.
R-rated movie of all time until Deadpool took it.
Exactly.
So, mm,
And then I think Mel Gibson turned around and said to him, "Hey, look, you know what, Mark? If you really want to do this movie, you got to put your own money into it." So I
mm,
think Mark Wahlberg put his own money into the project and developed it over the years and whatnot. So yeah, man, it sounds interesting.
okay.
And now, do you think it's going to have the same kind of punch that something like The Passion had? Like, is this going to have?
No,
Is this going to? Is this people? Will people go out in droves to watch this movie? Do you reckon?
no. I don't think so because there isn't with the Passion of the Christ. Like whether we like to admit it or not, we as
Mm,
people, as humans, not all of us, but a big portion of us, we're quite sick.
yeah.
We like to be shocked, especially now. We
Mm.
like to be shocked. And Passion of the Christ, people came out saying, "Oh my gosh, it's
They were
grotesque. Blah,
crying.
blah, blah,
Yeah.
this, that, that." Oh, is it? I want to go and see it.
Oh,
You know what
is
I
it?
mean?
Yeah.
Whereas nothing in this film is of that level. Still a good
Right.
film. So I'm not taking
Yeah.
away from it, but there's no shock value in this film that's gonna get
Sure.
people talking about it so much that
Yeah.
you go and rush and see it. No. Passion of the Christ. When I first saw that and saw the whips and the flesh and all
Mate,
kinds of shit, I was like, "Ugh." And
this is
I told someone
madness.
else about it. They saw it. Didn't
Yeah.
need to advertise. Didn't need to advertise.
Word of mouth. There was no flipping. There was no. Was there Facebook back then? I can't even
2004?
remember.
No, 2004. I
No.
think it was 2004. Facebook wasn't out. Twitter wasn't out. What did?
Yeah.
No, it wasn't. It was
It's just word of
MySpace or
mouth.
whatever. I don't know.
Exactly,
Yeah.
word of mouth got that one out, and there, just on that, he's. I think Mel Gibson's in development to do
Yes.
the next one of that. So yeah, so maybe that's going to be something major.
Yeah.
But listen, off the top of your head, or
Mm,
even off my top of my head, I can't think of any kind of like biblical or religious movies that are. I
mm,
can't think like obviously we've seen horror movies and they have like religious elements in it,
mm, mm,
but
mm.
I don't even think there's been like big religious movies apart from The Passion of the Christ for me. I think
No,
that's the only other
and
big one.
the other one that has religious overtones, I guess, but like Kingdom of Heaven and stuff like that. The
Yes.
Crusades, but
Yes.
they're not fully in the church.
Yeah.
But you don't really get massive ones on in movies. Maybe on Netflix and stuff, you get a few shows and stuff like
Yeah, you might do, yeah.
Jude Law's involved in one, I think, and
Oh, The Popes,
you
was
had
it or something?
you had like Anthony Hopkins, I think, was involved in something. But
Yeah.
yeah, you're right. There isn't really many.
But I'm pretty sure there must be a market for it. I mean, like this because I mean, people are
Mm,
religious, right? So
yeah, and it's
maybe
Catholic as well. It's the Catholic Church that he's involved
okay,
in.
yeah.
Mm.
All right, well, listen, folks, there you go. Go check it out. It's called Father Stu. It's going to be out in a cinema close to you, and
Rhyme in
I
there, I
don't.
see. Yeah, busting a
Shit,
rhyme.
busted some rhymes there. I
Busting a-
don't actually know. I don't actually know if it's out here yet, which is kind of strange
Yeah,
because
well, not yet. For me, even here, it's not out yet. It's coming out
okay,
soon,
well there you go.
so it'll come out soon. Yeah.
It will come out soon. All right, so listen, look, that's the end of the episode, folks. But listen, look, we've got other big movies that we want to speak about, and just on that,
Mm.
Devado, what is coming up next?
Oh, mate, I still want the Men. Men is coming out soon. That's an A24 film. That's out soon.
Yes,
That's a weird
yeah,
film. I can't even say much about it. I don't know what's
yeah.
going on with that film, but it looks good and weird, which is where we live.
We're
So
exactly,
yeah,
and
so
then obviously July,
Love and
we're
Thunder.
waiting for Love and Thunder is going to be there. So we still got a kind of whiles away for that one. But in between, then we will be bringing you loads more movie reviews, folks. So keep it locked with the Flixters. Go win that Now
Top Gun.
TV.
Yeah, Now TV, 3 months, 3 months free. So we'll write a review. We can send you that Now TV code, 3 months free movies. But yeah, Top Gun's coming out soon.
That's next
Uh,
week, I think, in it or something.
yeah,
2 weeks
yeah,
time.
yeah, next week.
All right, that's going to be the next big movie that we're going to be watching. So
Mm.
yeah, so we'll go check that one out, and then we'll bring you a review of that one. But yeah, keep it locked with the Flixters, and yeah, see you soon.
Yeah, peace out.
And we are on.
We